Massive shapes moving between the trees. Hairy silhouettes on trail cams. Figures running, stalking, watching from just beyond the light. Stabilized footage. Grainy 70 seconds home videos. Shaky phone clips. Roadside cameras. Different places, different years, all showing the same impossible thing. For decades, they've tried to explain them away. Costumes, bears, hoaxes, glitches, but no one has ever truly solved them. Tonight, I'll show you the most convincing and disturbing Bigfoot sightings ever caught on camera. So take a deep breath, blink now, because what you're about to see might change the way you look at the woods forever. Look closely. This isn't a reenactment, an actor, or a visual trick. This is the stabilized version of the most controversial cryptid footage ever filmed. The Patterson-Gimlin recording, shot in Bluff Creek, California on October 20th, 1967. In the stillness of the forest, a figure steps out from the brush, a creature covered in dark hair, with massive shoulders, and a gait that feels too human to be an animal, yet too wild to be a man. It doesn't panic, it doesn't run, it just walks, calmly, like something that knows it's being watched and doesn't care. Stabilized and enhanced, new details stand out. A natural arm swing that matches real biomechanics. A deliberate head turn that feels almost aware. That posture, that stride. No known primate has ever replicated it without looking stiff or fake. For decades, experts have tried to tear this clip apart. None have fully debunked it. No one has recreated it perfectly without a costume giving them away. And through all of that, the creature just keeps walking, as if it's carrying a secret that doesn't belong to our species. Now look at this. Two friends were out filming. June 2001, a homemade action scene, but the forest had other plans. As the camera follows their actor, the mood shifts. From the tree line, something explodes out of the shadows with terrifying speed. A massive figure, jet black, covered in thick hair that seems to swallow the light. It doesn't walk, it charges. It tears across the clearing like it owns the ground. In a single moment, the two friends stop making a movie and realize they're in something else's territory. In a heartbeat, the creature vanishes back into the trees. No roar, no warning, just ragged breathing, a shaking camera, and the sickening feeling that whatever that was, it was real enough to paralyze them. This happened on Prince Edward Island, on Canada's quiet east coast, a peaceful, isolated place where no one expects to see that. No explanation. To this day, no one has a clear answer. Too big and too fluid to be a man in a suit. Too fast and upright to be a bear. A lone hiker is deep in the wilderness, camera in hand. No houses, no one for miles, just trees, wind, and something watching. At first, everything feels calm as he records the trail ahead. Leaves rustle, branches creak. Then, the mood shifts. Through the trees, a massive figure emerges in total silence. It doesn't roar, it doesn't stomp. It just appears huge, heavy, moving with a quiet confidence that makes your stomach drop. His heart starts pounding. His breathing turns shaky. Without warning, the creature lunges toward him. The camera jolts. Adrenaline takes over. He spins around and runs as fast as he can, crashing through the undergrowth, not daring to look back. Every snapped twig feels like it's right behind him. After what feels like an eternity, the chase stops. The creature doesn't roar, it simply slows. From a distance, the camera catches it again, no longer charging, just walking. Its dense brown fur catches the faint light filtering through the foliage. Each step is heavy, deliberate, almost human, but the body shape, the proportions, the way it moves don't match any species science has ever recognized. On one side, pure panic, a desperate attempt to escape. On the other, a massive being calmly continuing its path, almost indifferent to the human who crossed it. It's Independence Day, 2011. Barbecues, smoking, kids with sparklers, flags waving in the warm air, a night of fireworks, laughter, and a camera meant to film nothing more than a family celebration. But instead, it catches something no one is ready for. The footage is shaky, frantic. Whoever's filming is breathing fast, surprised, nervous, maybe scared. The frame whips left and right, but in the middle of all that chaos, one figure stands out, a massive creature, covered in hair, dark, tall, solid, and it's walking exactly like a human. A steady, even stride, arms swinging naturally at its sides, posture calm, almost confident, too fluid for an ordinary animal, too strange to be just some random person in the woods. The cameraman struggles to keep it in frame, the image jerking everywhere, while the creature moves without fear, without hurry, as if it's used to walking near us, as if it knows that even if someone sees it on a night like this, no one will believe them. While fireworks explode overhead, painting the sky in red, white, and blue, something else moves between the trees. Something ancient, silent, absolutely certain of its place in the darkness just beyond the glow of the party. To this day, no one has explained the figure that appeared on the country's most symbolic night. It was a perfect day, clear sky, calm water. A man stood by Wild Horse Lake in the Steens Mountains of Oregon, posing for a picture in 2016. Nothing strange, nothing that hinted at what the camera was about to catch without anyone realizing it. While he smiled at the landscape, far in the distance, the surface of the lake broke. A dark shape, large, hair-covered. It rose from the water and, within seconds, began sprinting toward the tree line. To the naked eye, no one saw anything. The distance was too great. For everyone there, it was just another peaceful day in nature. But later, when the footage was zoomed in, everything changed. There it was, a figure that didn't move like any animal you'd expect near a lake. Too upright, stride too long, too solid, too real to be a shadow, a wave, or a trick of light. So what was it doing beneath the waters of Wild Horse Lake? And why did it bolt for the trees at the exact moment the camera happened to be pointed that way? The clip remains one of the most baffling. No obvious edits, no digital effects, no simple explanation for that sudden appearance. It was 2009, a quiet afternoon deep in the forest. The camera is pointed at a simple trail. No special setup, no expectations, just trees, dirt, and a few deer wandering into frame. But the deer sense something long before the humans do. They freeze, ears snap upward. Every muscle goes rigid, as if the forest itself just whispered a warning. They don't graze, they don't move forward. They just listen to something we can't hear. A distant crack, a heavy step, but not the kind that belongs to any predator we know. Far down the trail, through the shadows, a figure slips across the path. Not a man, not a bear, too tall, too broad, too impossibly silent for its size. A dark, hair-covered silhouette, moving with the precision of a hunter that knows exactly how to stay just out of clear view and close enough to strike. The deer still don't make a sound. They don't bolt. They just wait, like they recognize whatever just passed by. Like this isn't the first time. To this day, no one has clearly explained the creature caught in that brief, chilling moment. And one question lingers in that forest, where even nature seemed to hold its breath. Do you think those deer managed to escape that night? Or did something finally step out of the shadows when the camera stopped recording? Before you watch this clip, you need to know one thing. In Florida, there's a legendary creature called the skunk ape, the Bigfoot of the South. It's described as a massive, dark-haired being with a stench so strong that some people say they smelled it long before they ever saw it. It's said to live where few humans stay for long. Swamps, mangroves, humid forests where light barely reaches. This sighting happened around 2015. The video starts in silence. Twisted trunks, wet leaves, stagnant water, and a thin beam of sunlight cutting through the canopy. And there, in the middle of the trees, it appears. A massive figure, walking slowly, like it's patrolling its territory. Huge, heavy, moving with an unsettling calm. The person filming tries to zoom in. The image shakes, the frame tightens, and for a few seconds, the creature is clearer. Dark, matted fur, massive shoulders, a slightly hunched posture that feels almost human, but not quite. Every step is slow, deliberate, like it knows exactly where to place its feet in the swamp. Then the trees do what they do best. They hide things. The moment the figure seems to notice it's being watched, or simply decides it's done, it slips sideways into the vegetation and vanishes. No roar, no splash, just gone. Swallowed by the undergrowth. To this day, no one can say for sure what that figure was. An unknown animal wandering the wetlands, or the legendary skunk ape guarding its flooded, secret world. Let's continue. The video begins on a calm, ordinary day by the river. A lone fisherman stands in the shallows, letting the current guide his line. Nothing seems out of place, just the murmur of water and the soft creak of his rod. But the forest always hides something. As the camera records his peaceful routine, something shifts in the background. Behind a wall of reeds, a shape appears. A dark head, hair covered, far too large to belong to any ordinary animal. For a moment, it just stares. Its gaze seems locked on the man, studying someone who has no idea he's no longer alone, someone who may have become prey, or at least a a curiosity. The creature barely leans forward, barely seems to breathe. A silent, patient presence right where the light begins to fade, as if deciding whether to step out or stay part of the forest's secrets. A watcher in the reeds, but waiting for what? The fisherman never notices. He keeps casting relaxed, unaware that just behind him, a massive figure stands perfectly still, calculating whether to move or disappear. And now one question hangs over that quiet riverbank. Do you think this creature was only interested in the fish, or did it stay hidden because this time the man wasn't the one hunting? May 26, 1996, Okanogan County, Washington, Chopaka Lake, a quiet Memorial Day weekend, just family, friends, and a fishing trip that was supposed to be completely ordinary. Pate Lori was recording with a high 8mm home video camera, the kind meant for birthdays and campfires. But this time, it captured something else. Earlier in the trip, some of the group had already seen a strange simian figure, a hairy shape, moving at a closer distance, vanishing before anyone could film it. And then, on camera, it happens. Far across the landscape, a figure appears on a hill, massive, covered in dark hair, moving with slow, deliberate steps that match the classic description of Bigfoot almost perfectly. The creature walks across the slope, then disappears for a moment behind a ridge, just long enough to make you question what you saw. Then it reappears. For a few seconds, you can see it again, walking calmly, as if it knows exactly where it's going. No rush, no panic, just a steady, confident stride before it slips into a cluster of trees and vanishes from sight. Every movement looks natural, not like a person pretending, not like an animal stumbling, more like something completely at home out there, aware of its surroundings, and just fast enough to keep it secret. The power of this footage isn't in special effects or high definition. It's in how simple it is. No modern edits, just an old home video that accidentally caught something that shouldn't be there. In this clip, we dive into the story of one of the most famous Bigfoot hunters, Paul Freeman. Born August 10th, 1943, he spent years chasing one thing, proof that Bigfoot was real. He claimed to have filmed the creature and found tracks with dermal ridges, fingerprint-like patterns that didn't match any known animal. To some, he was a serious researcher. To others, a man obsessed. The footage you're about to see was recorded in 1994. It's grainy, low quality, nothing like the HD videos we have now. But that's part of what makes it so compelling. Back then, advanced editing tools weren't easily accessible. And Freeman wasn't a random tourist with a camera. He was an experienced hunter, someone who knew how to move through the forest or how to catch something real on tape. In the video, a large figure appears between the trees. Its stride is steady. Its movement looks natural and unsettling. No obvious tricks, just a dark, massive shape moving in a way that feels alive. Freeman later made plaster casts of the tracks he found. Those casts and his notes were studied by anthropologists like Jeff Meldrum and Grover Krantz, who saw parts of his evidence as serious and worth considering. Others, like René Dahinden and Bob Titmus, were sure he was a hoaxer, staging prints and footage for attention. The footage itself is blurry, which almost makes it worse. You can see Bigfoot or something moving through the brush, as if patrolling its territory. Always visible enough to notice, but always half hidden, right at the edge of clear sight. To this day, this recording remains one of the most debated Bigfoot videos ever. So the question that won't go away is this: did Paul Freeman finally capture real proof of Bigfoot? Or are we watching the carefully built legacy of a man who needed the world to believe? This moment is known in Bigfoot circles as the fence climber, first shared by researcher and YouTuber MK Davis. It quickly became one of the most dissected and argued over Bigfoot videos ever. At first glance, the footage looks almost useless, extremely blurry, shapes barely distinguishable, the kind of clip most people would scroll past without thinking twice. And yet, it didn't go away. Despite the quality, something in it hooked people. Because there, on top of a fence, a strange silhouette moves. It climbs, shifts its weight, and crosses with a fluid, deliberate motion that feels too controlled to be just pixels. Every movement seems measured. Every frame leaves you torn between it's nothing and wait, what is that? Doubt and fascination walk side by side, just like the figure balancing on that line between the explainable and the impossible. The power of this footage doesn't come from HD clarity. It comes from the feeling it leaves behind, that there might be a real physical presence in that blur, one that doesn't care whether we can see it clearly or not, one that almost seems to mock our need for perfect proof. A father and son are sharing a quiet moment in the hunting woods. The air is calm. Branches creak, leaves brush, distant birds call. Nothing out of place until something breaks the peace. Ahead of them, heavy footsteps echo through the trees. Not the light steps of a deer, not the clumsy crashing of a bear. Something heavier, more deliberate. Whatever it is, tears through the underbrush. Its presence felt long before it's seen. The boy's heart starts racing. You can hear it in his voice. He moves closer to his father, pointing toward the sound. The father, calm but tense, looks toward the trees and says one thing, firm and steady. Look at it. The camera captures the moment they both stare into the same patch of forest. Father and son, side by side, watching something massive and unknown move between the trunks. It's barely visible, just a shape, a shadow, but big enough, real enough that ignoring it isn't an option. In that instant, they're not just hunting anymore, they're witnesses. The clip looks so real, everyone believed it. So clear, so natural, so perfectly captured that the internet swallowed it whole. Social media exploded. Millions of views in hours. Shocked comments, experts breaking it down frame by frame. People swearing that finally Bigfoot had been filmed with undeniable clarity. On screen, the creature looked impossibly real. Detailed fur reacting to light and movement, fluid, organic steps, shadows falling exactly where they should. Everything about it felt authentic. So authentic, it seemed to erase the line between human and unknown. But then came the twist, a twist no one expected. The clip wasn't evidence, wasn't a real encounter in the forest. It was a creation, a piece of content produced by the cast of Bigfoot and Jeff, crafted so well, it fooled millions and became one of the most convincing fake sightings in recent memory. And now, a question lingers, uncomfortable and hard to shake. If a hoax can look this real, how will we recognize the truth when the real creature finally steps in front of the camera? This is the most unsettling and the one that feels truly real. What makes it so convincing isn't just what we see, it's how it was captured. By roadside cameras, no filmmaker, no one waiting for a monster to walk by. The creature isn't posing, it doesn't even know it's being filmed. Every movement is natural, automatic, almost casual, and that spontaneity makes it far more believable than any shaky handheld video. The footage is in black and white, which only adds to the unease. It feels like a lost surveillance tape or a fragment from some forgotten archive. The creature's build, posture, and stride clearly echo the Patterson-Gimlin film and Paul Freeman's footage. That heavy arm swing, the forward-leaning posture, that strange, powerful gait that doesn't quite belong to a human or any known animal. Those details, combined with the fact that this was an accidental capture, make this clip more than interesting. It feels alarmingly real. After more than 10 years studying cryptids, there are fewer than 10 videos I'd call 100% authentic without hesitation. This is one of them. And the question that remains is simple. If this is the most real way we've ever seen Bigfoot, would you dare to stand near the next lonely roadside crossing, knowing something like this might be waiting just beyond the edge of the headlights? And that's the end of our journey through the most disturbing Bigfoot clips ever caught on camera. Blurry or crystal clear, fakes or too real, they all leave one idea behind. Something is out there, and it might be closer than we think. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next mystery. Now, tell me in the comments which clip shook you the most. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't forget to look twice at the tree line.